Okay, I already know this video is going to make people mad, but let's talk about it. Is Puerto Rican Spanish copying Dominican Spanish? Because a lot of people in Puerto Rico have to start using Dominican slang, Dominican expressions, Dominican food names, and then some people start saying, that's Puerto Rican now. We always say that. That's ours. So the question is this copying or culture exchange? Let's talk honestly, respectfully, and without sugarcoating. First, let's be real. This conversation didn't come out of nowhere. A lot of Dominicans have noticed that. Dominican slang is becoming popular in Puerto Rico. Dominican expressions are used online by Puerto Ricans. Dominican food names are being used, and sometimes people think it originated there. And Dominican be like, hold on, that's ours. Before anyone gets offended, this is not an attack. This is an observation, and it's okay to talk about it. Let's talk about language. There are Dominican expressions that are now being used a lot in Puerto Rico. For example, vaina, tipo está pasado. Now these words are always being Dominican. But now you hear them in music. You hear them on Puerto Rican TikTok. You hear them in Puerto Rican conversations. And some people start thinking, oh, that's Puerto Rican slangs. But Dominicans are like, no. And that's where the tension starts. Let's talk about food, because this one gets really spicy. Some Dominican dishes or food terms are now being associated with Puerto Rico. For example, mofongo variations, certain street food names, certain Caribbean-style dishes. Now the Caribbean shared food, we all eat plantains. We all eat rice and beans. We all fry everything. But when specific Dominican dishes or names are claimed as Puerto Rican, that's when Dominicans feel like, wait, that came from us. And that's a real feeling. Now let's talk about why this feels like happening to some Dominicans. It's not just about the words, it's about visibility. Puerto Rican has more global exposure, bigger music, bigger industry, more media presence, more international recognition. So when a Dominican word becomes popular, it often becomes popular through Puerto Rican platforms. And then the world thinks, oh, that's Puerto Rican. And Dominicans are like, but we've been saying that for decades. So it's not just about copying, it's about who gets credit, who gets visibility, who gets remembered. And that matters. Now, let me be very honest. Dominicans also borrow from Puerto Rico. We use Puerto Rican expressions, Puerto Rican cultural references, and sometimes Dominicans think those are Dominican too. Don't act like only Puerto Rico borrows, all the Dominicans create. That's not true. We copy each other. We influence each other. We exchange culture. That's how Caribbean culture works. So, is Puerto Rican Spanish copying Dominican Spanish? No, it's cultural exchange. Culture doesn't exist in bubbles. Language travels, music travels, food travels, people travel. And when cultures are close, graphically, connected historically, constantly interacting, this is inevitable. What matters is not who copied who. What matters is giving credit, respecting origins, not erasing where things come from. You can use Dominican slang. You can use Puerto Rican slang. Just don't pretend it started in the air. That's it. This conversation matters because culture is the same as identity. Language is the same as identity. Food is the same as identity. And when people feel the culture is being erased, they don't feel angry about the words. They feel angry about the system exists. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think this is copying or cultural exchange? Comment respectfully. Let's talk. Let's not fight. Let's educate. And if you're learning Spanish, remember, Spanish is not one culture, it's many. And Caribbean Spanish is one of the richest, loudest, most beautiful,